Hello, it's Ren Presents time. I'm your host, Ren, and today I want to talk about a very traumatic incident from my childhood. We flash back to the 70s. I think it was 77, maybe 76. I was 10 or 11 years old. Brand new thing hitting the scene. Cable TV. Gone were the days of 3 channels and a prayer. Now we had 40 channels, and it was incredible. We were getting stations from Cleveland. We were getting stations I'd never seen before. And one day, while I was pressing the button on the wired cable box that went to our TV, I came across a very strange show on PBS, local PBS station at Ohio State. And for some reason, I stopped channel surfing and watched. It kind of had a Sesame Street sort of production value, but it was populated by a bunch of British adults. And it turned out I was watching an episode of Doctor Who. I had no idea what I was seeing, what I was looking at. I was midstream, and Doctor Who has, kind of a soap opera sort of format. If you're in the middle of a story, when you start watching, you're just sort of out of luck. But Tom Baker had a very magnetic presence, a very inviting presence for me as a kid. I liked listening to him speak. He seemed like a trustworthy person. He seemed like a beloved uncle. I started watching. I liked his companion. I thought it was his wife. It was Sarah Jane Smith, played by Elizabeth Sladen, and I had no idea of the concept of companions or the TARDIS or this funky phone booth that he was flying around in. Everything was new. Everything was new, and there was no... Sorry about that. There was no internet for me to look up Doctor Who. There was, there was really nothing. I had no way to research this show other than just to watch, which I did. And I remember thrilling to the episodes as I became acquainted with the cast and with the format. It was cheesy beyond compare, but still, I found myself every day after the news flipping to PBS and religiously watching Doctor Who unless my dad threw me off the TV. It was a ritual. I became invested. It's like a soap opera that you become addicted to. And I was addicted. My favorite series that I saw from beginning to end was The Hand of Fear with Eldrad, the rock guy, whatever he was, and how he takes over Elizabeth Sladen, turns him into his puppet and makes him do his bidding. And at first he's like a woman, then he turns into a man, then Doctor Who defeats him. I was hooked. Tom Baker was becoming one of my favorite heroes on the screen very fast. And then one day, out of the blue, this happened. All of a sudden, my beloved Tom Baker transformed into an old fart. I was thunderstruck. I'm like, who is this old guy? What happened to my doctor? And again, I had no idea about regenerations and third doctors and fourth doctors. I had no idea. And apparently, neither did the showrunners at the PBS station that I was watching the show from. Apparently, they didn't either, because they just sort of showed episodes willy-nilly. They would conclude a series like The Hand of Fear and then move on to another one, not really understanding how out of order the episodes were. And again, I couldn't research it. I couldn't consult the internet or go to a library and find anything about it. The only thing I could probably have done is become a pen pal with somebody in England who was a fan and ask questions, but I didn't do that. I was physically shaken seeing this transformation, not knowing what I was seeing John Pertwee all of a sudden on the screen, who incidentally, in watching it in later life as an adult, I like John Pertwee a lot as the Doctor. A very commanding, very different sort of presence, but a very commanding one nonetheless. But when I was a kid, I was in disbelief. And I never watched Doctor Who again. And to this day, I just remember sitting there on the stoop after dinner, just grappling with my emotions. Like, what happened? And since I couldn't consult anyone or ask a question, I just had to sit there and stew and come up with my own conclusions, for which I had none. It really hit me. It really bothered me. You know, it's just a TV show, but I'd come to love these characters. And all of a sudden, poof! Some old guy wearing an opera shirt and Dracula cape is all of a sudden claiming to be the Doctor. And at first I thought it was some sort of conspiracy, like maybe he'd been kidnapped or something. But no. They just showed an earlier episode of Doctor Who from when the third Doctor was still holding sway and the fourth Doctor hadn't happened. I knew nothing of this. And that was it for me. I never watched Doctor Who again. So, very short video. I just wanted to share that. I don't know if anyone has been similarly traumatized, that you're all of a sudden your world is uprooted and you have no answers as to why it just happened, and you're just left to wonder what's up, you know, to sit there with your broken heart and just sort of carry on as best you can. Anyways, this is Ren Presents. I am Ren. Until next time, use the internet. It is a great tool.